There it goes.
All right, boys, we are back. I was thinking one thing I've been really bad about is introducing us on the podcast. Like, we get some new listeners here and there, and they're probably like, who are these goons all talking? So I thought maybe we could do quick intros and then we could talk about our beers. And I have a not a merry-go-round, musical chairs assortment of baseball topics to talk about.
All right.
But I'd love to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about too. So,
I got some ideas in the noggin too. So,
all right.
We'll see.
All right. Well, Matt, since you're Mr. Idea Guy, Mr. Matt Brute here, the glue guy of the group, what are you drinking tonight?
I've got a English dark mild ale called Homespun Moon from a place in Philly called Tired Hands Brewing. Now, it's a dark mild. An English mild is, for all those who are listening, it's a very dark brown beer. English mild, I've always been told that English, it's usually a 3.5% ish beer. It's very, very mild. It's not very alcoholic. And I've always been told that because it was something that like an Englishman would have on his lunch. Like if he took his lunch break, went to the pub, got a sandwich or some fish and chips, he'd get a mild so he could go back and work the afternoon. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it's a style that's very underappreciated. This just tastes like very nutty. It's not like a lager, like it's got body to it, but it's very nutty.
It looks delicious.
It's really nice. Yeah. Hardly anyone ever brews milds and they're great. But so I got that. And then I'm continuing the trend of cheese stuffed pastas. I'm bringing it back. I've got handmade burrata, herb, and lemon zest ravioli.
Wow. Handmade by you or handmade by like a local Italian store?
Handmade by some pasta vendor at the Eastern Market in Washington, D.C.
Oh, fuck yeah. Nice.
Very tasty. I didn't know what burrata was, but it's very delicious.
All right.
What do you got, Colin?
Very interesting phenomenon before I get into mine. So Matt usually is the first one to join the meeting. And I don't know how this is actually going to record on the YouTube, but whenever I jump in, my camera always moves to the left. So if you're looking at a computer screen, when you look at the recording, I'm always on the left side. There's two people on the top. There's one person on the bottom if it's just the three of us. And I'm always the person to the left. Matt's always the person to the right. And then Ethan, who's always last, is on the bottom. But for whatever reason, there's been 2 times where Ethan has been the first one on the call. When he jumps into the meeting first, he ends up on my left and I'm on the right now. So I am totally thrown off. And this is really weird for me. So I'll talk about my beer and then I'll let Ethan introduce himself. But I just wanted to say that it's thrown me off. I've been waiting to drink this beer on the podcast because this was a beer from Matt, the We Are from Stable 12 Brewing Company in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Where the hell is that, Matt?
Northwest of Philly.
Northwest of Philly. Very delicious, very light, traditional lager. Nothing too crazy about it, but definitely love the We Are. Penn State.
It hurt me to send you that, and Ethan in the same box. I sent him a Scranton themed beer too. So
yes,
that one hurt too.
The Electric City.
Oh, fun.
I was just in Scranton. So I still have that one, Matt. And I was gonna pull that one out because I was just in Scranton this past weekend, but I decided to go with the Penn State one instead. I'm wearing the Penn State hat. So,
Ethan, you got any beer left in that apartment?
No. So I'm drinking water tonight because I'm in a mostly empty apartment. There's no booze here. There's only water. I finished all of my New Zealand other half IPAs that Matt had sent to me. They were delicious. So just water tonight. And by the way, this is very interesting, Colin, about your video placement, because for me, I'm literally always in the top right on my screen, no matter what. So I have no idea what the system is, what the algorithm is or whatever. But in any case, just water tonight. And is it echoey? Can you hear like an echo?
A little bit, definitely. But not too bad.
All right. Hopefully the listeners won't want to kill themselves from that. But yeah.
Your baritone voice will make up for it, Ethan.
Yes, the soothing dulcet tones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't worry, we will rectify the beer-free issue soon. I've got another fancy beer pack coming next week from Other Half. In the spirit of basketball season, it's Hop Madness. So it's eight basketball themed beers that I'll be mailing Ethan's way. So we'll take care of that quickly.
Yeah, what's it like, Rudy, having a team in the Final Four, Villanova?
Oh, I'm paying attention to baseball. I couldn't even have told you that like I was rooting for St. Peter's more than I was for Villanova. So, but yeah, whatever. Like, I think everyone's waiting for baseball season.
All right. Well, I had to drive through Durham on Friday when I was on my way to my parents before we shot up to Scranton because there was an accident on the 85, and this was before Duke had made the Final Four. The campus was decked out, all Duke stuff. Everybody, I mean, not surprising. Obviously, they're a huge basketball school and get super into it. But I was just like, "Whoa, this is pretty cool."
Okay, final season, blur. Yeah,
yeah. I feel like he's gonna murder UNC on Saturday because they embarrassed him in his last home game.
I bet they win it all just because like his career has been so charmed. It just would make sense that they win the national title in his last season.
Yeah, it's been a while since 2015, I think, is the last one that they've had. So
he should have stayed at Army.
Yeah, him and Bobby Knight.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, idea guy, what do you got for us?
What I got for me? Oh well, you're putting me on the spot right away.
Oh, I mean, we can jump into the baseball stuff, but
well, so I'm gonna stammer until I can get there. But anyone else see the USFL proposed football rule changes?
Nope.
So what is the USFL?
Okay, it's spring football. Essentially, it's a league that's existed on and off for 40 years. But essentially, they're trying to challenge the NFL. They want to be another football league out there, kind of like the XFL, except I think the XFL has a partnership agreement with the NFL now. But it's just a rival football league out there that will probably fail. But what's interesting about when these things happen is these leagues will introduce rule modifications that will sometimes filter into the actual NFL. So I believe that's how the 2-point conversion got there, and a couple other rules that ended up in the NFL. So just a couple interesting ones that, I mean, I hope the USFL sticks around, but if it doesn't, these are some rules that you might see if they're successful in the USFL, that you might see the NFL adopt. So, they're going to change up extra points. So if you can make a 1-point extra point for kicking the ball from the 15, 2 points if you're making a regular 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line, or a 3-point extra point if you if you cross the goal line from the 10-yard line. So that was an interesting one. If you score and want to try and keep the ball, they will keep traditional onside kicks, but also they can line you up for a 4th and 12 from the 33. So you could score and then go right back to the 33-yard line with the ball and complete a 4th and 12 conversion and keep the ball from that spot. If not, the opposing team gets the ball wherever the ball's down. So it's kind of a coin flip there. They're allowing 2 forward passes as long as the first pass is behind the line of scrimmage. So you might see some more trickery now.
Wow.
Again, not right now. The way the NFL works, it's 1 forward pass, and the forward pass has to come from behind the line of scrimmage. But so that's why any sort of trick play is like a lateral. So this is going to be interesting how that happens. It'll be 2 forward passes.
What's the rule with that? Explain that again.
So in the NFL, you only can throw the ball forward once.
Right. I'm talking about the new rule.
The new rule, you can have 2 forward passes, but the first pass has to be completed behind the line of scrimmage.
So it has to be caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
Basically like a 1-yard dump.
Or say you do a reverse throwback, throw down the field. Like imagine this, a wide receiver on the left side of the field does a reverse. He catches it, throws it back to the left side of the field. where the quarterback is, it's a forward pass, but the quarterback's still behind the line of scrimmage. And then the wide receiver who's doing the reverse keeps running down the field, and the quarterback throws it back across the field to the wide receiver, who then catches it and goes all the way to the end zone.
Okay.
Very interesting.
My football brain working there.
Good job.
And then the last one, overtime. So they're going to be, it's kind of a college style play, but it's each team alternates plays from the opposing team's 2-yard line. And it starts out as it's like a best of 3. Each team can run a play 3 times. So each team's guaranteed 3 plays. And if they're tied up with conversions after 3 plays each, it'll be like a sudden death. Like everyone gets 1 shot moving forward.
As someone who watched Penn State lose a 9 overtime game to lowly Illinois, I will say that is, even if they had won that game, it is the worst overtime rule ever. I actually saw the NFL is adopting a new overtime rule this year where both teams are going to get a chance to score now.
Only in the playoffs.
Only in the playoffs? Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. And the regular season games and
playoffs. And this gives both teams a chance too, but it's essentially 2-point conversions. So
yeah, but the thing that's similar to, like you had said, with the college game is like, if both teams make it, then you got to do it again. Or if both teams miss it, which is what happened a bunch of times in that Penn State Illinois game, then you got to do it again. It's like, how many times can you miss a 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line? Well, it turned out it was like 7-8 times.
I mean, that just sounds like bad coaching to me.
It was awful.
Sorry.
It was awful.
Little dig.
Yeah, Sean Clifford was hurt. It was terrible. It was not Franklin's shining moment as coach.
Isn't it about time for like? Oh no, I won't finish that sentence. I'm gonna.
What?
Nope. Not gonna say it.
Come on.
Next topic.
Come on.
Nope. Not saying it on the recording. Nope.
Come on.
Matt has lines that he won't cross. He's not like me.
Yeah.
He has a moral compass.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
As I was thinking of the joke, I was thinking that's probably offensive, so I shouldn't say it. So.
Yeah. So basically, you should ask yourself, WWED, what would Ethan do? and if Ethan would do it, you probably should not do it.
I don't know if Ethan would do this one either, which is like really red flags.
Well, so exactly. Okay, so that's your answer then.
All right. What else you got, idea guy?
Oh, I mean, that was the biggest one. Bruce Arians just retired.
Did he?
Yeah, he's going to be a front office guy now. No more coaching. So
wow, even with Brady
Tom Brady effect, I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
And we talked to the Watson effect a lot last weekend, but it still seems like between the baseball offseason and the NFL offseason, it's just kind of crazy out there right now. Money flying around, crazy different signings happening everywhere. Unfortunately, it sounds like Baker Mayfield is still kind of out to pasture. He's still on the roster, but they don't want him.
Yeah.
No team's going to want to take his $18 million salary. You know, think about it this way. The Colts said we would rather take an old washed up Matt Ryan than they would try a chance on Baker Mayfield. And even worse, the Commanders said they would take Carson Wentz over Baker Mayfield. And I say even worse because if you guys get a chance, read the article about Carson Wentz that came out, I think it was on ESPN today. Holy cow, lots of red flags about how bad that guy is in the locker room and
really?
It was the article was talking about how Jim Irsay came out and kind of publicly bashed him. And, you know, Irsay's he's a middle of the road owner. But they were saying that it sounded really bad that the team moved on from him that quick. And that actually reminds me of my next thing, Ethan's favorite topic and a recurring segment that Colin has brought up before. What billionaires do you want to hate today? And today, I've got the Pegulas, whatever those shit faces in Buffalo are named.
Wow. The same people who donated money to the Penn State ice hockey arena.
Yeah, how much did they donate?
Probably a lot of dirty money.
Yeah. So, did you hear what happened today?
No.
New York State Governor Kathy Hochul, I don't know how to say her name.
I thought it was Hochul, but
Hochul announced that the Pagulas, whatever their name is,
I think it's Pagula,
owners of 2 professional sports franchises, are getting $850 million of state aid for the new stadium for the Bills.
Oh man.
You know what the state announced 3 days ago? 3 days ago. An $800 million budget cut to child services in New York State. Oh boy. It is the richest public stadium deal ever for a small market team on the heels of massive cuts for the kids in New York State to 2 of the wealthiest owners in the NFL in terms of net worth. What the hell? I'm sorry. That was just very frustrating. And I know there is nuances to the whole thing. People in Buffalo who are very passionate are going to talk about, well, Erie County is actually technically kicking in $250 million and the state's doing $600 million, and that, yeah, blah, blah, they're going to support the revenue with casino money. And it's not actually the same bucket as the money that was coming to the kids for the New York State, but still, optics wise, that looks fucking terrible. And it's very frustrating to see that. These people, there's a host of other issues or places where you can look at things I don't know how to say the name, the owners have done, or I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just very frustrating.
I love how you said, what the hell, this is very frustrating. That was like just so mild and tame, but then you did say fucking terrible, so that was better. I mean, it's unconscionable, but it's also not surprising. Like, that's like the Jeffrey Loria special. Like, that's what he did. I don't know if he did it in Montreal, but he did it in Miami. And I mean, this shit happens all the time, right? All of these cities that build these new sports stadiums, they find ways to get it funded publicly. I don't know enough about all of the laws to know, like, how it works, like how these billionaire owners manage to get public taxes to pay for these stadiums, especially at the expense of actual social services that will like help everybody. It's mind-boggling, but this is Merca, where the money. I mean, the money drives everything, right? The most money, whatever it is, that's just that. And I mean, that's horrific. $800 million budget cut to children's. I mean, I don't even know like how to even fucking respond to that. Yeah. Like, it's insane. Kyle's speechless.
I stole your segment, Colin.
No, I think it was great. I'm so lost for words when it comes to the silly money that is out there. And then, like, I was just talking to Toddy tonight about, like, maybe not this year, because this year I'm really focusing. All right, so I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but I'm really trying to focus on giving more. And so this year I've been really focused on, and a lot of it has to do with you, actually, Matt. But this year my focus has been the UNC Career Center. They have a program where, like, not employers, but people who are professionals in HR, recruiting, and everything can partner with their career services and provide expertise and come in and speak.
Mentorship, resume reviews, guidance, speaking.
And I've done maybe like 7, 8, 9 sessions already this year. A couple more left for the spring, and then it slows down until the fall starts up again. And I was talking to Toddy. I was like, I'm already thinking about, like, next year what I can, like, build on, because this year I was like, okay, I'm gonna start giving back. I've been in recruiting for almost 10 years now. I want to give back for, like, everybody who's helped get me to this point. So that made a lot of sense. And just like recently I was reading about, like, housing and affordability issues and things like that. And so I was like, maybe Habitat for Humanity would be something. And it's crazy to me that there is so much money in this world, but there are people that can't afford the basic things in life to, like, just be happy. Like, there's so many homeless people, there's so many uneducated people, there's so many unhappy people as a result, unhealthy people, like, and everything. And yet there are these billionaires. And again, like, to a certain extent, I get it. They worked, they made
No,
the money.
no.
In some in some cases, there's a little bit of truth to that. But at the end of the day, I will always like go to your side, Ethan, where it's just like it's too much. And like when you have that much, you should just give it to the people who really fucking need it. And like it just doesn't happen. And I don't know what else to say about it anymore. Like I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to convince billionaires to give away billions of dollars. What's the next highest thing of billionaires? Like in 100 years, is Stella going to be complaining about whatever the next level? Trillionaires? Like I don't know.
I mean, at this rate, yes.
I mean, what Bezos and Musk are?
They're already above 200 billion.
Yeah, they're 20% of the way there.
Yeah.
So it just makes me sad that there is enough money in this world, even though we're like overpopulated, I guess you could say, but there is enough money in this world to like pretty much help everybody, I think. And
there's more than enough.
Yeah. And money's arbitrary too. One day somebody was just like, this is going to have value to it. And this is what it's going to be. Like at any point, somebody could, take over the world and say your money means nothing, like, so I don't know. So
quick question. When you're doing resume reviews and consulting, something I found that there's like a dichotomy. Either the person's resume needs a whole lot of work, or it's like, this is perfect. Why are you here? Like, get the hell out. Like, your resume is better than mine. Go. I always found like it was one extreme or the other. Like, okay, like, let's talk through what you've actually done. Let's maybe take off the elementary school that you went to. True story.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the things people leave on their resumes are funny. And that is a conversation that comes up. It's like when you're thinking about what to leave on a resume, you're trying to figure out, should I have a 1-page resume? Should I have a 2-page? Should I have a 3-page? Like all these things are appropriate given what the context is around it, right? Like if you're a fresh graduate, you probably shouldn't have a 3-page resume, but if you're a 40-year professional, like maybe that makes sense. But we always talk about weight, like what weighs more, what has more impact. That's how you can make decisions about what stays on and what doesn't. And to a certain extent, Matt, a lot of times I'll get people where it needs a lot of work. But I rarely get one that like really blows me away. And mostly it's because I'm a harsh grader.
Good.
Which, it's 10 years in the industry will harden you up a little bit on all of that stuff. But really I do it like out of care. And so like when somebody comes to me, one of the most common things, and if anyone's listening can take away from this, pretty much every single time I look at a resume, the one area that can always be improved is under your work history. And the reason is because most times people are task listing. And it's great to list what you are asked to do, but like in my opinion, that is a minimum job requirement. Like you should be able to follow directions and you should be able to follow through on the minimum requirements of what your job is. What I want to know is what value did you provide? So like Ethan, you could write on your resume, I teach 443 students I taught 443 students in 2021. Most people, that's what they would put on their resume because they think, oh, wow, that's really impressive. Like I taught 443 students, but I don't care about how many students you taught if none of them got any better, if none of them, got any value out of the work that you provided. I want you to showcase on your resume what that achievement was from the work that you put in. Like connect those two things. Say, I taught 443 students, 10 of them that went to all county, all district, one that was, first chair, blah, 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 whatever. And that's just like a random example, but that I always, whenever I'm giving feedback, I'll try to pick like one of those tasks that they listed and I'll say, okay, here's a couple questions that as a recruiter, I'm asking myself, like, what you did this, what happened? Like, where did it go? Who did it impact and everything? So there's definitely usually always room for improvement in the work history, because a lot of times it is task listing. And even if people do list accomplishments, I still challenge them to think about more. And really excuse me, really dig deep there. One thing I'm not even great about myself is just trying to keep a log of accomplishments that I have like in the moment, so that when I'm putting together a resume, I'm not trying to remember everything all at once. So if you can be better about that than I am, that's a tip too, is just write it down as it happens. Keep your resume. One thing I've done after doing all these resumes and realizing that was a fault on my part is I put my resume on an open tab on my personal laptop. So anytime something pops up, I'll see the tab open. I'll be like, oh, I should at least just write something down that you'll remember by. You don't have to like polish it up right in the moment and everything. But if you do something well, if you do something good, it's a big achievement. Write it down so that you're not trying to do everything when it comes time to switch careers, look for a new job and everything. But I know that's getting on a little bit of a tangent.
That's okay. It was good.
Yeah, that's cool. We haven't talked about that kind of stuff before. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, I always like telling people that what's the value. So yeah, you did this, but what was it worth to the company? Why did you do it? Like, and that was a lesson. I like, okay, I made this material substitution. Cool, that was my job. What did it do? Oh, it saved $500,000 for the company, like on a yearly basis.
Exactly.
Put that number out there. That's a big number.
Bold it on your resume. Bold it. Put it in italics. Like, make it stand out somehow.
And if you put some hobby or activity on there, is one of the things I always talk about too. You better be able to talk about it. So, I've got friends who, I got a friend who got a job because he put that he likes to run marathons in his activities in the bottom. And he said his interview was 98% talking about running with the guy. The guy said he just decided that 2 minutes into the interview that they liked him and they just decided to talk about running. For me, I did the same thing with my mascot experience at school. Like, all right, I want to put that on there because it's going to be a great thing to talk about that not everyone can do. So if someone wants to bring it up, cool. If not, it takes up 3 lines on my resume and that's it. So,
I like seeing people who are well-rounded too. I think that matters, like in the business world, if you will, to not just be so dead focused on your work all the time. I don't want people burning out and not having a life or anything like that.
Shameless plug. If you're active in the tech world and are looking for a new job, consult Colin Cernelia about Snappy Kraken.
If my CEO is listening to this episode, he's going to love it.
Snappy Kraken. That is Colin Cernelia.
All right, boys. You want to play musical chairs?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
The reason I'm calling it musical chairs is because I can't come up with a better name for it. Maybe you guys will think of something better, but I just have a bunch of random screenshots that I've been taking about baseball news, and I'm just going to pick one and we're going to talk about it and, see how it goes.
Perfect.
The first one is to talk about, I guess, to put the cap on the lockout and the start of the new season here. There are some new rules in Major League Baseball that were agreed on by Major League Baseball and the Players Association. There will be a 28-man roster in April. There is a potential for there to be an expanded roster, kind of similar to what it used to be in the past in September too, just because of the extra workload and things with a lot of doubleheaders and just rest being more important in general these days. But I don't think that has officially been approved yet. But we have expanded rosters in April. The automatic runner, the ghost runner that some people refer to it as, is back on second base in extra innings. I do not believe that it is. I don't believe it is something that is available in the postseason, but I'd have to double check that. I believe it's kind of like the same thing, Matt, what you were talking about with the NFL, where they're just trying to speed things up in the regular season, but come playoffs, they're going to nix that rule. And then the final rule, the big one, is a pitcher can remain a DH after he's done pitching through the life of this current CBA. They are calling this the Ohtani rule.
Obviously,
rightfully so. That's the one I'm interested in. Although I wouldn't say I'm necessarily excited about, because Ohtani's probably the only person it applies to. But maybe there's some more Ohtanis brewing in the minor leagues that we don't know about, or even overseas and in different countries that are going to come over the course of the next 5 years, and maybe we'll see more Ohtanis. But I don't know. I don't hate the rules. I don't love the rules. They don't really excite me at all three of those things. But those were the big things that came out of the last part of the negotiations.
I think, none of them are particularly exciting. I think you're right. I think I wish that more was being done about the overall pace of the game and quality of the product, like we have talked about in the past. But I will say that I like the Ohtani rule. And I think even if there only remains one Ohtani, even if he's the only one, nobody else comes up who can do what he does, I think that's still really important, because he's one of the biggest stars in the game. He's transcending the game.
True.
People, when they go to the Angels, they want to see him. And if they get lucky enough to go to a game where he's pitching, like, you want to be able to see him hit. Like, what if he has an off pitching day and he only throws 3 or 4 innings? You don't get to see him hit anymore. That fucking sucks, like, as a fan.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, that's actually a good rule that actually services the fans for once. Right. So I'm into that. But I think that in general, nothing particularly inspiring about those.
Yeah, the Ohtani thing is that's a good point. I mean, I don't think even when Trout was injured when they played the Angels last year, the Yankees. But even when Trout was Trouty and doing his Trouty things, whenever the Yankees played the Angels, I wasn't like, oh my God, I want to see Trout play. Unless I was going in person, that'd be different. But on TV, I wasn't like, I want to see Trout play. But when Ohtani was pitching at Yankee Stadium and he was hitting too, I was like, yep, sign me up for that. I'm definitely watching that game. Like, I was super excited for that. So
exactly.
I think that's cool. And I think there are some other things working in terms of robo umpires, bigger bases, a couple other things that are going to happen, I think, prior to next season.
Don't forget Home Run Derby X.
Oh, I just saw something about that today, like in my email, I think.
Yeah. It's
Sounds
an international tour of 4 players. It's near and dear to my heart. You guys played MVP Baseball 2005, right?
Yeah. Fucking love that game.
Like, yeah, by far and large, the best baseball game ever made. Period. Period. So I guess they're going to try and mimic that. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be on a baseball field. It's going to be like on a simulated baseball field. It's going to be 4 contestants with like wild card players, and they're going to do a tour around the world. So it's Adrian Gonzalez, Johnny Gomes, Giovanni Soto, and Nick Swisher.
Oh God, never mind. I was excited when I was reading about like the overall stuff.
And they're going to be like hitting towards targets, and it's going to be like in 5 or 6 cities around the world.
Okay.
And I guess there'll be people in the field too that if they successfully field the balls, they can score points too. I don't know. It's honestly, I'm glad Major Leagues is taking a shot at this, but it sounds like a cluster waiting to happen. Like, it just sounds like a train wreck. But they want to create high energy live event experiences and opportunities for digital storytelling to engage with new baseball fans around the world. Blah, 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 blah. So we'll see if this actually works or not. But again, I'll tune in. I'll watch. Nick Swish will make an ass of himself and not realize it. Adrian Gonzalez will probably win. Because he's the best hitter out of the 4.
Isn't he like 63?
Maybe, but he'll still win. He's at least can hit the ball where he needs to hit the ball.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have targets. They're gonna have props. They're gonna have point values. You get like 25 swings and 10. You can take 10 pitches or something. So I don't know. It will be interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, they're trying something. Thank you, MLB. You're trying something.
Yep. Trying half-assing it, but trying.
Sure. If you're gonna pick 4 players, what the hell? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Did you like not realize someone else? Like, well, I guess we should call Nick Swisher. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be someone else. Get Manny. get
That would be fun, Manny.
Yeah, get Manny,
Or
get Sammy
A-Rod.
Sosa,
Yeah.
Big
Mark
Mac,
McGuire. Yeah.
Bonds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get all the old steroid guys out. See if they can still hit the ball without steroids. Of course, they're all in their 50s now. So, or
Heck.
are they even older?
Get Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson. If anytime we can get Ricky Henderson involved, you know what? They should pay him. MLB should pay him a ton of money just to like do live Instagram videos where he like tells baseball stories. Because so for those who don't know, Ricky Henderson is famous for speaking about himself in the third person. So just like go online and look up Ricky Henderson quotes. They're fucking hilarious. Like it's amazing. And so yes, we all need more Ricky Henderson in our life.
Well, and no matter what, he's always the best.
Yeah.
Like which his career numbers back it up in a lot of cases.
Oh yeah, he was absolutely incredible. One of the best of all time. Yeah.
I just, if you haven't, if you're new to baseball, Ricky Henderson, just look up the video when he sets the stolen base record and he just takes the base. Like, this is mine. I am Ricky Henderson. Bow before me.
Yep. Oh man.
So all right. Before we get to the next musical chair, last week I gave, and I'm sure Ethan didn't listen to the episode, so he didn't hear Matt's feedback that we got from a listener. But I'll give Ethan his feedback now since he's actually on the podcast. And it says, as much as Ethan hates everyone, his musical background is very different from anyone that I know, and I'm sure his success there is partially due to the way he thinks. I am not a Trump supporter by any means, but I tend to be more conservative in my views of the world, but some of his opinions when the F-bombs are filtered have been thought-provoking. The glue we talked about the glue guy. Yeah, that was it. So I guess I didn't know you filtered your F-bombs.
No, I don't know. Well, I don't think I do, but I think that this person, there must be some times where I'm talking about these things where I'm not saying fuck quite as often. and it must be that is when this person is able to tune in more. That's fascinating. I'm kind of shocked and kind of pleasantly surprised. So if you're listening, whoever left that feedback, thank you. That's really cool because I think I'm going to try not to go on a huge tangent, right? But I think one of the huge issues with our sort of, well, there are so many, with our politics and our political discourse right now is, and I'm certainly guilty of this plenty of the time, okay? I'm not saying that I'm like an angel here, but we are all so entrenched in what we believe, and we sort of live in our own kind of bubble, right? The internet helps us do that. And the idea of changing one's mind or even being just open to different ideas, like this person said that apparently a couple things I've said have been like thought-provoking. Like even being able to admit that something that like a different perspective is thought-provoking. And let's put this into perspective. This person is saying that they lean conservative. I'm about as far left as it can get. So we're talking about a really wide gap in terms of basic political views. So the fact that they would say something like that is really meaningful to me. And I think and I will say in my own life, it's happened a little bit more with some of the people in my life recently, not so much on the podcast, because on the podcast, I just get angry and I rant about stuff, right? But in my actual life, nobody else, except for my brother, nobody else is as extreme as me. And so a lot of my friends, I'll make these like huge general statements and my friends will be like, okay, there's a little more nuance to that though. Like, what about this? What about that? And Matt is kind of smirking because he kind of does this sometimes. And that makes, that gives me pause too. Like I have to, you have to take into account nuance, right? You can't make these giant general statements most of the time, but you can about billionaires. They're all pieces of shit.
I was wondering that.
No, that is a blanket statement I will always make and I will never ever apologize for, so forget about that.
Okay. Well, hey, quick interjection. So we talked about Mackenzie Scott and how she was like, I was like, maybe she's not that bad. She's giving away tons of money.
Yeah,
her net worth still has gone up.
So there you go. So this is the problem. And so here's the thing is like, even with somebody like that who is trying to give away her money, which kudos to her, but the larger issue here is the system. It's the system. There's a system that allows the Pegula families, or however you pronounce them, their last name, to get $850 million of dollars of public money to build a new stadium. There's a system that allows all of these people to be worth these insane amounts of money and not pay any taxes on it because it's stock value. It's not like it hasn't been made into liquid cash yet, right? It's just like theoretical cash. And so
I believe it's called unrealized gains.
Unrealized gains. Yes, Joe Manchin has been in the news for talking about this, along with some other Congress people, because of Biden's recent proposal to tax super rich people. But we can talk about that later. But anyways, I just want to say thanks to that person for the feedback. That gives me hope, because I think that's something that we need to try to do better, all of us. And one thing that I have learned the hard way, and it's really, really difficult for me, is that just straight up like dismissing. So like for me, I'm tempted to just completely dismiss any Trump supporter and be like, they have no morals, they're an asshole, they hate everybody, and fuck them, and they are irredeemable. And they would probably say the same about me, right? A lot of them. And that's a problem. We have to try to get away from that thinking. I think that it's like probably too hard to do right now, or if it does happen, it's going to take a really long time and it's going to be slow. But in any case, I appreciated that feedback, so that's cool.
Everyone say hi to Boris.
The podcast.
The podcast has made an appearance.
I was smirking because he tried jumping up on my lap and missed, and just fell on his butt. Which cats don't do that. Cats don't fall. And it was actually very funny because he looked just like so out of his element there. Like, what the hell just happened? It's like, yeah, you didn't land on your feet, bud. You're getting old.
Aw. What is he, like 12 now? 14?
Almost 13.
Almost 13.
Wow. Still looking great.
Oh yeah.
All right. Our next musical chair comes from Meredith Marakovitz, our girl. She tweeted back on March 23rd, Aaron Judge asked for his reaction on the vaccine mandate being lifted in New York City. Quote, I'm happy Kyrie can play some home games. End quote.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I don't have anything else to add outside of what I said last week, where I mean, obviously I don't understand why he just won't get a vaccine in the first place, and he could still, he's not going to be able to play in Canada, and whatever. But I also don't understand the rule, especially for an outdoor event, where I don't know. Can we just be done with COVID, please?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying about the outdoor event aspect of it. Like, he's standing in right field, like he's 100 feet away from everybody,
Yeah, but what about half the game, the hour that he spends in the dugout?
Well, right, in the dugout and in the clubhouse, and that
I knew Matt was going to go there.
Well, of course, that is the question. And I mean, so then the other question is how many people on the team are vaccinated? Because if it's like everybody except for him and Rizzo, then chances are they're going to be pretty well protected. You don't think so, Matt?
No, they didn't hit the threshold last year. They had masks on the whole year.
Oh, there was okay.
No, they didn't.
They didn't hit the threshold.
They definitely had masks off at some point. When they had that big outbreak, they started wearing them again.
Yeah, but remember Boone said they never actually hit the threshold. They just stopped wearing masks.
I'm pretty sure they hit it. It was a pretty low threshold to hit. I'm pretty sure they hit it.
Regardless,
either way, yeah.
Agree to disagree, but yeah.
We'll have to look it up later and touch on this next time. But for me, it's just disappointing. Of course, like it's very strange to me, this whole like high profile athlete like anti-vax thing, because these people are like relying on cutting edge science and medicine all the time to get into the best shape they can, to recover the fastest that they can from injuries. Like, it's so weird to me to like cherry pick that stuff. Like, you are placing, as that level of athlete, you are presumably placing like all of your trust in like the highest level science and medicine. And so then to turn around and say nope about a vaccine for a global pandemic, to me is just like it's very it just doesn't, it's cognitive dissonance. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly to Europe to get stem cells injected into my joint so it heals faster, which is still wildly unproven. Good data out there, but still not proven. But I won't take a vaccine.
Yeah. So it's just really crazy.
I thought it was a funny quote though. So.
It is a funny quote. Yeah, he's he's learning how to do non-answers very well and sort of manipulate. Well, not necessarily manipulate. That's too strong of a word, but evade questions very well for the media.
Yeah. All right. Next musical chair is going to top off our conversation from last week with guest Matt when we talked about the 3 lowest payrolls in baseball. These are the largest contracts given out ever by the 3 teams. The Pirates. Do you guys want to you guys want to try and guess the players before I tell you?
Players.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested. Is it McCutcheon?
Nope.
He's probably the obvious guess.
Cervelli.
Right position, but no.
Kendall.
Yep.
No fucking way.
Hasn't played since 2010.
Oh
Boom.
my God.
A 6-year, $60 million contract.
That's the largest contract.
Given out by the Pirates.
Okay, Indians or Guardians?
Guardians.
Encarnacion.
Yes. 3 years, $60 million.
Okay.
And the final one, our favorite, Oakland Athletics.
Chris Davis.
Nope.
Jermaine Dye.
Nope.
That's a good guess.
Closer to the time period.
I can't even remember like all these people.
Jeremy or Jason Giambi.
Was it one of the like Hudson or Zito? They got shipped off before.
Yeah, they got shipped off.
So did Giambi.
Zito got his big contract in
the one guy that survived all of those teams.
Rich Harden.
Nope.
Miguel Tejada.
Nope. He didn't survive either. He went to the Orioles.
Yeah, right. All right, who the fuck is it?
Eric Chavez.
Yep.
Oh, Eric Chavez. Wow.
6 years, $66 million.
All right.
Hasn't played since 2014 and is currently the Mets hitting coach.
I threw a lot of names out there, but I got all 3.
Yep.
Yeah, good job, Matt. Very nice.
Yep.
Very impressive.
Yep. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to top that off. A very interesting thing I thought for our next musical chair is debuting on Sunday, April 3rd, this coming Sunday on MLB Network, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Donnie Baseball documentary.
Ooh, that's cool. All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Actually, I'm going to write it down right now.
Yeah. Matt, why are you making a fucking face?
Oh, no, I just, I guess I don't idolize Donnie Baseball as much as everyone does.
Ugh, unbelievable. What are we going to do with this guy? Got to go on YouTube and watch some old clips, or go and look at the seasons he had in the mid '80s before he hurt his back.
I mean,
he was so goddamn good.
I had the baseball card that where he was the single season Grand Slam record holder for the longest time. I know he was good, but he was four Grand Slams in a season, which was only passed by Josh Hamilton, right?
I think it was 6, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Maybe Manny was up there too, but
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. I got us to the 2-minute warning here. What I mean by that is I got 2 musical chairs left.
Okay.
The first one, Matt, you are the person who has brought these guys up the most so far. The Savannah Bananas, the independent baseball team in Savannah, Georgia. Did you guys see 75-year-old Red Sox Hall of Famer Bill Lee came down from the stands with a beer and then proceeded to strike out a player in the middle of the game?
Amazing.
No, but that's phenomenal. Oh,
it's amazing.
That's great.
Go to YouTube. All you listeners, do the same thing. Go to YouTube. He throws. It's the what's it called?
Ephus.
Yeah. And I think the first 2 he follows off the guy he's pitching to, and then the final one he just swings right through it for the strikeout. I no idea if it was staged, but it was really cool to see.
So fun.
Yeah, just a lot of fun. Like I obviously that doesn't work for Major League Baseball, right?
No.
Like that's not what you want to see. But man, the entertainment there, like they got something going on. They get it.
And that's really cool.
No. Yeah, they're on the short list for sure. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't. I was listening to the episode when Ethan was talking about like how we're not really joking when we say we don't want to go to Tampa. I would definitely go to Savannah before I would agree to go to Tampa.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
And that's like kind of fucked up. Like props to the Savannah Banana like baseball people. Like, that's amazing. Obviously, they're doing something really well, but that's kind of more of an insult to Tampa Bay and to MLB.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, a bunch of yellow shirted fans find that baseball down there appealing. So, they're not going to slip up with their attendance. They're going to really,
Look at all these puns.
Come on. I was waiting for Ethan to react. Thank you, Colin.
About what? What
appealing slip.
A bunch of yellow
shirts.
They must find that appealing. Yeah, don't slip up.
See, yeah, my
You're
brain
not
is
even drinking.
My brain is so far from puns most of the time. So yeah, no, it went totally over my head. Yeah.
Oh man, I was proud of myself for that one. I couldn't figure out how to finish it off though.
Yeah, no, that was actually good, Matt. Now that it had to be explained to me, I can appreciate it. But
all right. So we've come to the final musical chair.
Also, wait. I mean, it's okay. I get that you don't get puns because, in my mind, probably half of the language in your head is like. So I mean,
pretty much, yeah. That's so actually, my partner was kind of teasing me the other day, and she referred to me kind of. I don't think I'm zoned out that often, but maybe I'm zoned out a lot.
Oh yeah.
She referred to it as my magical music world. Like that's that's basically my brain is magical music world. And I just like the ring of that. And so I'm keeping that. Yeah.
I like that a lot. I wouldn't say you're zoned out a lot, but I do agree with the magical music world.
Yeah. So
I think I just found the title for this episode.
Yeah.
Magical music world.
All right. Man. Final chair, Colin. Sorry. I just
no, that was worth it.
I'm glad someone else thinks about the magical music world too, because I couldn't coin that good of a term, but that's
yeah, I would have never coined that, and I've seen it in action plenty of times. So
yeah.
All right. So before I get to the final, I will say I saw cousin Greg this weekend.
Yay.
Had great things to say about the pod. Definitely wants to come on again in the future. Really appreciate the support there, cousin Greg. We have a Yankee trivia. It's a question though, from brother Dan to top this off.
Ooh, Dan's always got good ones too.
Yeah, true.
I will say I don't know what the answer to this is. So we're just gonna have to, I guess, give our best guesses. And
Doug Mankiewicz.
And brother Dan will have to write in and let us know on the next episode if we got the answer right.
Reed Brignac. Yeah. Same era of insane Yankee teams. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, although you guys might be able to look it up and find it out. But so last year, the Yankees as a team, so hitters and pitchers, finished with an OPS plus of exactly league average 100. Since 2000, that has only happened one other season. Which year is it? That was it's based off of Baseball Reference. His hint. Do you want me to give a hint right now, or do you want to start throwing out names?
Let's go with the hint.
I have no guess. Yeah.
All right. In that year, their center fielder led the team with an OPS of 139. I'm guessing the center fielder he's talking about is Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, it's got to be Granderson.
And so I was guessing 2012.
Is that the year he hit 40?
2011, 12. Yeah. 10. I mean, one of those years, 10, 11, 12. I'd have to look it up. But
did he walk enough to have an OPS above 1,000?
Maybe one of those years.
To get above 1,000, you got to have 600 slugging and 400 on base. That's really, really hard to do. Of course, I don't think that. I was going to say maybe Bernie. Maybe in one of Bernie's like great years, he might have hit that level with both of those.
So the thing though to remember is it's since the year 2000. Bernie was obviously still a center fielder for 5 more years.
Yeah, he didn't have many great years after 2000, did he?
Right. 2001 or 2 was probably the closest.
Yeah.
Did Johnny Damon ever lead?
Nah, no way he would have had 1,000 OPS, right?
I don't.
Plus, he never played center with us, did he? Didn't he always play left?
He played center.
He played. I think when he first came over. Yeah.
Okay.
Even in the World Series team.
Wow.
Gardy took over after that.
Okay.
With his, fly swatter type swing. Bleh, bleh.
Right.
To me, it's got to be the Granderson year where he hit 40.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a good guess.
Yeah. Who were the center fielders post Granderson?
Jacoby.
And
Oh,
and
God.
and Gardy, right? Jacoby and Gardy.
If it's Ellsbury, that's
I mean, knowing your brother, that could be like the red herring there. It could be.
What Jacoby never did shit with us.
He had one
I think he
okay
had one.
year, right?
I think he had one okay year.
There's
yeah.
no chance that his OPS was anywhere close to 1,000.
Yeah, that's probably true.
No fucking
Oh,
way.
his
I'll look it up.
His
because I'm
best
curious,
year
but
with Boston was probably the closest that he was ever to.
yeah, exactly. And Grandy, not to should I say or should we wait until?
Yeah, no, go give us.
Grandy never broke 1,000 in his OPS.
Okay, so let's try to come to a consensus about who we think it is, and then he'll tell us next.
I think Bernie's the only one who could have had an 1,000 OPS out of all the
Look him
center
up.
fielders since 2000. I'm gonna pull it up quick.
Granderson came close, but
No.
never 1,000.
Not Bernie either. Shit.
Granderson, so Granderson did have an OPS plus of 142.
That's really good. Could it be Hicksy? Did Hicksy? I mean, Hicksy walks a lot.
Well,
Did he have enough?
Wait. I think we are getting confused here.
Yeah. What was the hint?
It's
Wasn't the
OPS
hint?
plus.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant
100.
OPS 1,039. I thought you
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
OPS plus was 139.
Yep.
Oh.
And the league average last year was 100.
Right.
Well, yeah, the league average is always 100.
But you're saying the hint is that the center fielder specifically had 139 that year. Wow. Okay. That's super interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, see, I was looking at overall OPS then, so never mind with my Grandy and Bernie numbers.
Well,
yes, Matt. Just say it. You look like you want to say something.
who said Bernie first?
That would be me.
Ethan.
You were right, Ethan.
Fuck yeah.
What year?
2001.
I said it had to be 2001.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't think he had a good year in 2000, but I think he had some bounce backs in 1 and 2, and then he dropped off.
So yeah, his OPS plus is 139, which is nuts because his OPS was only 917.
No, I mean 917 is really good.
Well, he walked a shit ton because he hit 26 homers.
Yeah.
How many games did he play that year? Had to be one of his last full seasons.
He had 540 at bats. So
how many games?
154 in 2002.
Is that a career high?
No, 146
in 2002.
2001.
Oh, sorry, 2001. Sorry, 2001. 146.
Yeah. So 2002 might have been his career high in games played. He never played that many games.
Yeah, 154. Oh no, 158. 1999. That was his career high. Was 99.
Well, but what's nuts about that team is Bernie was second on the team in homers with 26.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of years there where we didn't have like a giant.
2001, Tino led the team.
Yeah, Tino led the team with 34. But you're right, top to bottom, the only starter that didn't have at least 10 homers was Colin's boy, Chucky.
Nobby.
Yeah, but
that's because he wasn't a full-time starter. 137 games. Yeah, but you're right. He did. That was his left field season.
No, yeah, I mean that was a rough season.
I'm pretty sure 250. I'm pretty sure he was hitting like close to 400 in May. That season, everyone was like, "Oh my God, getting away from second base! Like they should have done this years ago." And then he hit 250.
Yeah,
and played one more year with the Royals, and that was
unfortunately, his OPS plus that year was 83.
Oof.
Yeah, he did lead the team in one statistic though. Hit by pitch.
He always got hit a lot, didn't he? Didn't his elbow kind of lean way out?
Yeah. He definitely had that G close stance, but didn't hit those monster homers. Although he did hit some big homers in the playoffs. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's not everyone is always going to be over 100 for OPS plus. Now it's funny because Justice was at 99. The only other person below average that year was Soriano, of all people, actually.
In 01,
it was his rookie year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was his rookie year.
But he still had some pop that year, if I remember correctly.
Think about this, okay? Soriano won game 4 of the ALCS with a walk-off homer.
In 2001?
In 2001. And then he would have, if Rivera saved the game, would have hit the game-winning home run in game 7 of the World Series. And he also won game 5 when he knocked in Knobloch for the game-winning run in extra innings.
Wow.
Like an incredible postseason. His postseason in 2002, they were all terrible. That's why they got swept, or not swept, but knocked out in the first round. I think Bernie was the only one who had any big hits that whole postseason. But in 2003, he was terrible in the postseason, and I don't know if what it was, but that was his 39 homer, 40 something stolen base season or whatever. But just to think about how different he would be remembered if he would have ever gotten traded for A-Rod had the Yankees won that 2001 World Series, and he won 3 playoff games
holy shit.
for them as a rookie.
Right.
Now, now technically Bernie wasn't the OPS plus leader on the team that year, but the only person to score higher than him that year was only played 8 games.
But I don't think Danny said that his OPS plus was the highest, right? He was just saying that. Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said lad, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
One person on the team had an OPS plus that year of 223.
In 8 games? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Eric Almonte.
Damn, Eric Almonte.
I don't remember that name at all. I remember Danny Almonte, the Little League pitcher.
Eric Almonte had a whopping 144 plate appearances in the majors.
Wow.
But
he'll always have 2001.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I just want to leave you guys with Chuck Knobloch had a 3-run game-tying home run in Game 1 of the 1998 World Series, a 2-run game-tying home run in Game 3 of the 1999 World Series, a sac fly to tie the game in the 9th inning with at least 1 out, if not 2 outs, of the 2000 World Series. And he scored the game-winning run on that Soriano hit of Game 5 of the 2001 World Series. All games in which the Yankees won, all games in which Chuck Knobloch came through big. Yes, he had the yips. Yes, he was not amazing in the regular season like he was with the Twins, but he has some big hits. Now forever.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure
forever
Luis Soho had some big hits too.
One big hit. One big hit.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fair though. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked him. As much as I give you shit about him, I liked him.
Nice.
All right, boys.
Let's wrap it up.
I think we did it.
We did it.
Any shout outs? Anything we got?
Not for me.
I had something in my mind and I'm drawing a blank.
Well, this episode is ending very nicely.
Yeah, I love how we end episodes. I think it's great.
Chug a beer.